Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. It's been so long since I did a long format video. Well, it's because life's been busy, life's been crazy and tough. But anyway, I'm back now, and in today's video I want to talk about my journey of recovering my skin's health from a point where my skin had gone through a severe breakout, which is very unusual for me and honestly unprecedented. I hadn't faced something like that ever in the past. And what did I really do in terms of the kind of products I use, and what are the changes I made in my routine or my lifestyle to recover my skills and get it back into its best shape and form. So to give you a little bit of context, this happened because of a health scare which I had. So basically I had to undergo a surgery because of a health condition, and as you would imagine, a surgery or something severe like a health scare would bring a lot of stress, and the kind of stress that I was under and the kind of medications that I was taking really took a very bad toll on my health, skin health, hair, my overall well-being. So in today's video we're only going to be talking about the skin, because hair is another ordeal and that's for another day. So that's what it is. The kind of stress and the medications that I was taking had really made my skin to break out in a way that I was not familiar with, and honestly I didn't know what to do with it for a while. Let me first show you how my skin was before the surgery and the medications, and here are some pictures for you. Now, after the surgery and during the course of all the medications that I was taking, my skin was starting to turn red and it looked like something was flaring up all over my face, and I was documenting the entire journey just for a reference for myself and to record if there's any improvement. The clarity is not great, but you can see that there's breakout everywhere, especially on the forehead. There's so much congestion, and you can see the amount of redness under my eye and on my nose. So the entire face was irritated. So I chose initially to not go to a dermat or a doctor to get this checked and take medications, because I honestly was very scared of taking any more medications than I had already taken and than what I was already taking. And to me it was like, if I went to a dermatologist they'll probably give me some ointment, some more antibiotics, I don't know, and I really was fearing that. So which is why this is not an advice, and I do not recommend anybody to just self-diagnose and self-prescribe. If you feel genuinely that your condition looks severe, please assess the situation and choose what's best for you. There's nothing better than getting professional guidance. For me personally, I thought that the situation is bad, sure, because it's happening to me for the first time. However, I don't think it's so severe, because let's be real, there are worse things that happen to people in terms of acne. It could be cystic acne, the entire inflammation on the face where the face turns red and it's all over the face. Mine was not to that degree. Nevertheless, it was bad. So my plan was, let me give it a shot. I'll get into a routine, and if things work out and I start to see progress, great. Otherwise, I will take medical help. In terms of the skincare routine that I was following and the kind of products, I realized that, as you would have understood from the video and the pictures, that it just was a lot of congestion. My pores were clogged. I don't know why. There was so much redness under my eye and around my chin. It felt like my skin was burning, really. So I just chose to stick to the basics. I thought that I'll just focus on unclogging my pores, something very clarifying, and focus only and only on hydration, because clearly my skin barrier had gone for a toss. There was no barrier. So I thought maybe that should be the way forward for me. From whatever experience I had with skincare and some routines that I was following, I was familiar with some of the products and I kind of knew what suits me and which products do what for me. So in that spirit, I began the routine, and here are the details. So for face wash, in the morning I wanted something very light, for which I chose to go with the Cosrx pH morning cleanser. That's a very lightweight face wash. It doesn't strip your face off of your moisture or your natural oils, and that's the last thing that I wanted. So I would do that in the mornings, and in the night there's a salicylic acid face wash from Neutrogena. I do not know why it's not talked about enough in India and the beauty space around us, but I swear it's a gem when it comes to that kind of pore cleansing that I needed, and it's great for oily skin as well. I mean, I knew that the face wash is a little strong in terms of the clarification, so it did tend to kind of strip me off, but I guess that was the price that I had to pay. And once the face wash was done, my skin naturally would feel very dry at night, so I would go in with a lot of toner. I know for some reason people keep saying that toners are not important and they can be really substituted or just omitted from our routines. I beg to differ there. I actually have experienced the benefits of using a toner generously and not just for face value. So I stuck to basic rose water made at home, or any rose water or toner would work. And I think that worked pretty well for me, and I would be generous. When I say generous, I would go around spritzing all over my face like 3 to 4 rounds. Once you hydrate your face with a lot of toner, it helps absorb the forthcoming products even better, because your skin is moist and supple and it's almost like a sponge, right? So that kind of hydration helps, I feel. However, there's another toner which I started using much after all of this, which is the Laneige toner. I'll show you the product. It's very milky and hydrating. It doesn't feel like water, it feels like an emulsion almost, and I think it's great for even oily skin. I can only imagine how good people with dry skin must be feeling. So maybe this could have also been an alternative. Next up, for the serum stage, I stuck to my holy grail snail mucin essence from Cosrx. I've been using it for several years now, and it's one of those products which I've emptied, I don't know, umpteen number of times, and I knew that I could always fall back on this product, so that would act as my serum or an essence. And then I would follow up with a moisturizer, and I would actually alternate between 2 products. The first one is the emollient cream, which I think been very vocal about in some of my previous videos as well, and I've been the biggest fan of emollient cream. It's an Indian pharmacy hit. It's very economical. I think it retails for some 200 and odd rupees. It just feels like water, and because I've already provided my skin with all the necessary hydration, this just naturally felt like a soothing final step. It didn't feel like something too heavy. Now, why I chose this moisturizer and not a very thick moisturizer, because I've been speaking about hydration, is because while I do want hydration and I want to repair my skin barrier, the last thing I wanted is to clog up my pores by applying anything that was heavy. There are several moisturizing creams which I've used, which are great. They're slightly heavy but also suit my sort of combination oily skin, but I couldn't risk clogging my pores at all. So I literally stuck to the basics. I would not use any actives, no vitamin C, no retinols, nothing. Because already the salicylic acid in the face wash was harsh enough. I wouldn't say harsh enough, it's actually potent, but it would really strip off the moisture from my face, but really helped in clearing all the congestion from my face. I just wanted to more than compensate for that with the hydration and not go for any actives. I would pretty much follow the same thing in the mornings as well, barring the face wash, for which I said I used the Cosrx pH morning cleanser, and then I'd follow it up with a generous amount of sunscreen, not just 2 fingers. I think I was applying some 3-4 fingers because I wanted to protect everything that I was doing. I mean, because I was in the initial phase, I was so eager to get this fixed that honestly I was just shooting in the dark. So while I did have faith in some of these products, but I'm no expert, so I was just trying out as I felt, and I think that also in a way works, because while I stuck to the same routine largely, but I would sometimes alternate between some products basis how my skin felt. So if you have that kind of intuition, I think that also works. And for the moisturizer, apart from the emollient cream, sometimes I would also use the snail moisturizer from Cosrx. This is again a cult hit, but kind of expensive, so you can skip it. Emollient is just fine. And while I was doing this routine for I think several weeks, I would keep taking pictures and videos. Like I said, I was documenting this entire thing, and I started seeing some improvements, because of which I decided not to go to a doctor, and I just decided to stick to my own routine as well. And I did see some improvement along the way. I'll show you some pictures of how it started to shape up and how it ultimately turned out. And I would say the entire journey of that extreme breakout to good, clear-ish, healthy skin was, I think, anywhere between 3 to 4 months easily. It didn't happen overnight, and despite me being religious about my routine, even when the texture was becoming all right, they did leave a lot of dark spots around my face, and dark spots are really stubborn. You have to treat them differently. So I think 3 to 4 months is when I started feeling good about my skin again. You can see from the pictures that me all these months later was a bit chubby. I'm a bit plump because it was also all the diet and the healthy food which was making me gain the weight, which is good. I think my skin looked good after the said 3-4 months. And here is a picture of last week. Here skin is skinning, hair is hairing, everybody's been compliant, touch wood. Having said all of this about the skincare routine, it's also important to understand that if products could solve everything, I think everybody would have flawless skin, right? When I said the entire medical saga broke my skin out, it's obviously due to multiple reasons. Like I said, stress, my diet, my lifestyle, everything was out of the window. The medicines were at times so bitter that I would throw up, and net was losing weight the unhealthy way. I was losing hair, my skin was unrecognizable. So the recovery also had to be holistic. While these products did help me big time, I also focused a lot on my diet, made a lot of lifestyle changes, took care of my health in a different sort of a routine that required special care. So what I'm trying to say is that the idea of the video is not to tell you that if you're going through a patch of skin breakout due to whatever reasons, these are products that you should use. No, that's not the point. The point is it always has to be a culmination of things. I'm just saying that these products really worked for me because I had used them earlier as well, and fortunately they worked for me. But it may not work for everybody, but these are potent products that one can give a shot. However, I would always recommend that you please assess the situation. If you feel that the condition is a little serious, you must definitely seek medical advice and not self-diagnose. That's all for today's video. If you like the video, then please subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you later. Bye bye.